Okay.
Go for it.
We'll call this meeting for the Board of Adjustment to order. Was it properly noticed?
Yes, it was.
We need a roll call of members present.
Pinkowski here.
Linda Boulay here.
Kraus here.
We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. Would you please join me in saying the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have you reviewed the agenda?
I move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Agenda's been approved. Approve the minutes, have gone through the minutes.
Also move.
Second.
Motion been made second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We'll go to the public hearings.
The first application is a variance, Rome Country Meats and Deli LLC. It's a variance request under section 294-3, paragraph 6 of the Adams County Sewers and Sewage Disposal Ordinance to allow a holding tank for high-strength waste from a meat market on property located in the northeast quarter, southwest quarter, section 8, town 20 north, range 6 east, lot 1, CSM 5205, 264 Geneva Trail in the town of Rome. Just a bit of a background on this, and I don't know if there's a Becky B on the meeting today. Looks like she's having problems connecting to audio, but I don't know if she has something to do with this application, like being part of the applicant. So there's actually two septic systems proposed to go in on this. It's a new meat market deli. The plan is that the bathrooms and anything that, those types of things are all going into a conventional septic system. The holding tank is being installed for the floor drain in the actual, I don't want to call it butcher shop, but they're bringing in big chunks of meat, kind of cutting them down. The state considers that potential for high strength waste. Which then involves having to have like a aerobic treatment unit to bring those down to more like household levels. If it was just the floor drain, they don't even need a permit from us to put that in. They deal with the DNR only. However, there is a wash sink in the shop area that's going into this, which puts it into our world. Adams County does have a ban on holding tanks for new construction. To be honest, that was put in for residential. I mean, that's the main purpose why that ban is in there. So the proposal is to have that floor drain and the one sink go, or the shop sinks, go into a holding tank that they would then take to a municipal facility, like up to Stevens Point, and I mean by a licensed pumper, and it takes that whole high strength waste part of it out. They wouldn't have to do the pre-treatment, but then you can see the one plot plan that was in there. It does show both the conventional and the holding tank. Did we ever end up getting anything from Rome? So Rome, I talked to the town of Rome. Previously, the zoning administrator Greg would sign off on these if he felt there wasn't an issue. He's since retired. There is a new person there. That zoning administrator, her name's Emily, and the town clerk have been, or town, what is she? Administrator. They've been working through their process as to whether it should go in front of the town or not.
So we had a meeting on it, but it wasn't through the board. That was the problem.
Right, they did have a meeting on the, it wasn't, that was, on the whole proposal, and they did approve that. It wasn't specific to the holding tank.
Okay.
I received no other correspondence. I did have one neighbor call, ask some questions. Somebody right across the road.
There's some apartment buildings across the road, or four family, but it's right across where I wouldn't put this.
I have no idea. The owner I talked to is right across Matterhorn, I guess. And his concern, and it wasn't, I mean, minor concern, was, would it cause any smell? And no more than a typical septic system would. Even a properly functioning one has an odor. But this gets, depending on how quickly it gets filled up, they take it up to municipal.
When you say municipal, that would go how far? Would it go to the Adams?
Probably not. It could. It depends on, if Adams has capacity or not. There is, and it's not in the same vein as this, but there is an entire butcher shop down in Endeavor that opened up.
Oh, Andy's Meat. Works.
Andy's Meats. They opened up about 10 years ago, and they are served by, I think it's 3,000 gallon tanks. Now that's an actual, they do 110 pigs a day, 10 or 5 head of cattle, and a goat. But they are contracted with Country Plumber out of Portage, and they run up to Stevens Point. I think it's twice a day.
Well,
I mean, that's
big. Well, it's not big as what big could be, but it's pretty.
I think
Right.
It could go to the Rapids as well. I think Rapids has capacity with that paper mill down.
That's very possible. And that's on them to figure out. I mean, they have to legally dispose of it, and they're gonna hire a pumper. They can't do it themselves,
Right.
so.
They're not gonna slaughter here, or are they?
My understanding is that they're not slaughtering. It's just reconfiguring what's already been slaughtered,
They wouldn't allow that down their own
right?
slaughtering animals.
Yeah.
On this, their calculations, this thing would be pumped every 15 days approximately.
Yep.
They're not doing the volume that Endeavor's doing.
Right. I mean, that's a whole nother, because you're talking, you bring in a cow, skin it.
Yeah.
And you have everything drop out, you rinse it out, all that's going into a floor drain right into a tank. That's not the case here. The way it was explained to me is they get in half a side of beef, cut it into steaks.
Mhm.
I mean, is that
They more or less do butchering. They don't do it, they run it during,
right?
okay.
They're the final, the later on process, I guess.
Kind of like Breakbush. Breakbush used to slaughter the chickens, and they don't anymore.
Right.
They bring everything in, and then they cut it,
Yep.
package it, do whatever.
And that's why,
Like
but
Breakbush.
you are still gonna have,
Yeah.
and the reason the state considers it high strength waste is because there are fats. I mean, you still have fat on there, and if that falls into the drain,
You're working with blood.
yep. And then, right, it's the fat though that actually is what would classify it as a high strength waste. So when I say high strength waste, I'm not talking,
It's more or less a technicality.
yeah, I'm not saying like toxic or anything like that. It's just septic systems, like for a house, are sized one way, that based on that your fat levels and a couple other things are all below certain levels. This has the potential to be above it. We don't know it for sure even. They'd actually, if they wanted to do it without the holding tank, they'd actually have to monitor it and then potentially go back in and put in a pre-treatment device.
Okay. Do we have the applicant available?
It looks like her audio did connect. At this time, we can open the hearing to public comment. The only member of the public I see is Becky B. Would you like to speak on this? Second call for public comment. And last call for any public participation on this hearing.
Dusty, or Chair, or whatever. Can we,
We can't hear you, Cynthia.
oh, great.
Oh, hold on, that might be us.
They can't hear, can they hear us? She must not be able to hear us. I wondered.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Volume. There we go.
Oh, that's the TV.
Can you hear me now?
Volume 39.
Can you try again, Cynthia? No.
I'm talking.
She's unmuted, but it's not.
You can hear us though, right?
Hmm?
I sent a text to see if they will answer.
Oh, crying out loud, I got it. Can you try one more time?
Oh, Cynthia
Okay,
is
testing.
coming.
Testing.
We can.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yes.
All right. I didn't know if maybe
Volume
Becky
40.
was having
Volume-
some trouble.
volume
getting
55.
in. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, the TV was talking too.
I didn't know if maybe Becky was experiencing some trouble, but Becky, if you want to try *6, I don't know how you're into the call here. Maybe try calling in if you want to speak. That's all. Just want to make sure to make that announcement.
Thank you.
She's not answering.
I guess at this point, we have no public comment. I close the public hearing and you guys discuss.
Call for any anti?
There's only one person on the call.
Okay. All right.
This is, by the way, this is Cynthia.
I got that. I was just wondering if
Oh, yeah.
somebody was hesitating. Okay,
The county administrator.
Yeah, I just asked for any comment either way, and I'm not getting, and Becky hasn't said anything.
okay. Actually, I don't see anything wrong with this.
I'd move to approve. I don't think, I'm sure they're gonna monitor this thing. I'd move to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion's been made and second to approve.
That's it for that.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is
Aye.
monitored by the DNR, right?
It'll actually be monitored by us.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, on that one plot plan where it talks about sinks, dishwasher, floor drain. It's the sinks and the dishwasher that put it into,
Yours.
in our hands. If it was just that floor drain, this actually would have been permitted, not even through the county. But soon as I can put my hands in that sink and it touches a human body, now it falls into our world. That's all we have.
Okay,
June 1st for the next meeting. That's the first Wednesday.
That still works for everybody, first Wednesday?
Mhm.
before we do this, I've tried to simplify the understanding by the board members. Because sometimes there's some kind of hesitation
Do you have one of these?
and a lot of wording is,
I got one.
You do.
you have one, don't you?
What's that? No.
Okay. what I propose to do is I broke it down into very simple language. So you don't have a lot of reading to do to make a decision.
Okay.
And it just explains the guidelines that we have to follow for any of our board members. Or we seem to wander off the track every now and then.
No, I think that's,
This was proposed by you, is that it?
yep.
I could have made it a lot wordier, but it doesn't make sense.
No, I think as the chairman, it's makes sense for you to give guidelines to the board.
Okay,
And everybody has a copy of it now, so I think that's,
we have to make a motion to,
well, they're not
To
rules or
adapt.
anything, plus it wasn't on the agenda, but they're not rules or anything, they're just,
It's a guideline.
guidelines.
yeah, kind of a refresher on your guys' roles.
Yeah.
That's, I don't think, yeah, you don't,
Don't need, okay,
no,
okay. I thought that was kind of lacking on our part, that we didn't.
no, no, and that's good, and there's training opportunities too, and we will have a new member of the board joining us next month, so
Who's that?
Pete Church.
What happened? Oh, we just placing a new member.
Yeah, he,
Bob didn't quit.
not that I'm aware of.
Okay,
But yeah, Pete was on the, was appointed last week at the county board.
okay.
So he'll be on for June.
I don't think Pete was, I think there was an issue with that.
You,
I kind of thought, so I'll come up and talk to you about that.
Okay,
Okay, so maybe what I just said didn't happen.
okay.
I'll get back to you on that.
I
You
do have a
wanna-
point, I have a point of order, though.
Yes,
Number 8, did that happen? Number 8, discussion action on the board's preference for DNR opinions on shoreland zoning.
We didn't bring that up.
oh, thank you. So I received, yeah, number 8 on the agenda and I missed it.
Oh, yeah, the discussion.
The, a number of years ago, I want to say it was 6 or so, some of the state laws changed about whether or not, it could be longer than 6 years ago, about whether the DNR had the right to comment on shoreline matters. And basically the way they left it was the DNR can't make you take their recommendation or anything else. But if the Board of Adjustment wants it, they are more than happy to supply. It's still not binding or anything, it's just informational for you. They did this a number of years ago. Adams County Board of Adjustment said, yeah, we still want you to comment because we notify them, we have to notify them no matter what. They just kind of want, there's new boards and everything else, they kind of want an updated list. So they would like a vote from, or word from the Board of Adjustment saying either no, we don't want you to ever comment on these, or yes, we do.
It's always good to have the comment from the DNR.
Considering the
Yep.
DNR, that they can't tell you what to do.
No,
It
but
shows your responsibility.
It's advisory.
to
Right.
all of these,
Yep.
yes, that you have the say.
And if there's one thing we
More
need is
input.
advice.
Yes, absolutely.
Need a motion on that? or-
Yes.
I'd move then to approve that we get input from the DNR.
I so moved to.
Second, yeah,
All in favor?
works for
Motion
me.
carried.
I think it's very helpful.
Did we complete the agenda this time now? There's no correspondence, and yep,
You just have to adjourn motion.
thank you. Now I'll let the DNR know that.
Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Okay.
Each last month.
So that is it.
That is it. There's that, there's that. And